So before I tell like the story, I want to tell y'all the events leading up to it. So 2024, me and my son dad hadn't been together for 2 years. We had split 2 years ago. So February 2024.
One thing I can say is that these devices be playing tricks on us, but I won't let the device or the devil try to steal my shine. This is the last day of 2025, and I definitely said that I was going to upload a video today. And here I am, uploading another video for you guys. If you are new here, don't be a stranger by not subscribing. Join the family by subscribing, like, comment, and share this video. If you are returning, you know how we definitely like to do it. And let's get straight into today's reaction video. The last day of 2025.
Story time on how my baby daddy's family feel like that I had something to do with my baby daddy being shot. So before I tell like the story, I want to tell y'all the events leading up to it. So 2024, me and my son dad hadn't been together for 2 years. We had split 2 years ago. So February 2024, this guy had ended up writing me on Instagram, and he wrote me and was like, hey, like, how you doing? Like, what you got going on for Valentine's Day? Because it was Valentine's Day when he wrote me, and I'm like, nothing. Why, what's up? He was like, send me your number. He ended up calling me. I'm like, what's up? And he was like, oh, I'm just seeing what you got going on. Like, I'm surprised you ain't got nothing going on. It's Valentine's Day. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to work, whatever. So me and him end up ending the conversation. We had no communication whatsoever since that time in February. So March rolled around, my son's dad calling me. He called me, he like, oh, you talked to this dude named Bob? And I'm like, no, like, why, what's up? And why you calling me, asking me, like, do me and Bob talk? Because if I do talk to Bob, it's none of your business. But he like, no, I'm just trying to figure out, like, if you talk to him. And I'm like, no, I don't talk to him. And that was really the end of the conversation. So immediately after my baby daddy called me saying that, I get on Instagram and I text Bob. I'm like, hey, like, you going around telling people that me and you talk? Because if you did, that's weird, because me and you never really talked for real. He like, oh no, I'm trying to figure out the same thing because somebody just called me asking me the same thing. And hold that, because it's going to be another point in the story where that is going to be used. But anyway, I'm like, no, it's just weird. We end up leaving the conversation was left at that. And I wish I still had the messages so I can put them here, but unfortunately I don't. But anyway, then May roll around and he ended up DMing me again. He like, since everybody's saying that we talk, we might as well talk. And I'm like, good idea. We might as well talk. So we getting to know each other or whatever. We talking, on the phone. Like, we on the phone hours, bitch, that cupcake stage. So we on the phone just talking. Like, I'm so in love. But yeah, we getting to know each other. Like, we hanging out. He pulling up. So we kind of end up, getting serious. And mind y'all, like, Bob is a good dude. Like, we conversating, like, we got it on. Like, we got things in common. Like, he pulling up. Like, we go together real bad. And mind y'all, nobody knew that, like, me and him was dealing with each other. Nobody knew but me and him and, like, my close friends and my family. And then, like, I'm sure he probably hadn't told people or whatever, like, that he was talking to me. But nobody on the outside knew. It was just between me and him. And, like, I'm the type of person, like, when I'm dealing with somebody, I'm not finna tell, like, nobody. And I don't post nothing to begin with. So I wasn't posting nothing. So nobody knew nothing. But honestly, all of this information, like, I want to tell y'all because it played a big role into what really happened. And once me and him had really got to a point, I had basically told him, like, at the time that my baby daddy had asked, like, was me and him dealing with each other, whatever. And he was like, like, his baby mom basically had asked him the same thing. But, still, I'm not putting two and two together at this point. But tune into the next video because I had to make another part 1 and I don't want to get the story started in this video, so just come back for more. And I forgot to mention in the video, we're going to call my baby daddy, and we're going to call the guy that I talked to, Bob, and we're going to call the other person, Sarah, just for y'all to know. That's what part 2. So my timeline may be off, like the dates, things may seem like it's going fast, but it all happened within a year span. So now we leading up, and I think like maybe some time passed. I don't know like the exact dates that this happened, but every other weekend my son consistently goes with his dad. And the times that he would go with him, every time he came back home, he always be like, oh, like, you know, I had fun with my cousins, like we went here, you know. I never would put thought into it. I'm like, okay, that's good. Like, you know, I'm happy that my baby daddy finally found some kids for my son to play with while he has him on his weekends. But this weekend in particular, my son came home. He like, we went out to the jumping place with my cousins, but mom, like, I seen dad in the room with one of my cousins and they was doing things that cousins shouldn't do. So I'm like, hold on, what? And like, he's only 6, so he don't know exactly what's going on. He just know that he seen them in the room. So I immediately called my baby daddy. I'm like, hey, our son said that he seen you in the room with your cousin doing things that cousins shouldn't be doing. And I'm like, you don't do nothing like that. Like, you don't want him to think it's okay for him to do things with his cousin. He like, yeah, like, I know you right. So we end up having to talk with our son, and that was pretty much it. Once I got off the phone with my baby daddy, my son ended up telling me the cousin's name. And when he said the name, like, the girl has a very unique name, so I don't know nobody else with the name. So when he said the name, he was like, oh, mommy, like, her name is Sarah. And then like he went to saying like Sarah's kid name, and then Sarah's little brother name, which at the time I didn't know she had a little brother. I just knew that she had a son. So in my mind, like, this is weird because the name that he said is Bob's baby mama. So I'm like, what the hell my baby daddy got going on? Like, and I don't know if he knew or not that I was talking to Bob for real. Because mind you, in March, he came and asked me, was I talking to him? So I don't know if he knew. But I still end up calling him. I instantly call him back. I'm like, hey, you weird as fuck. I'm like, you sitting up here talking to Sarah, knowing like, I don't know if you know or not, knowing that I talked to Bob. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, not on this weird ass shit. So then he goes on, he like, oh, I didn't know you was talking to him. Like, oh, me and her been talking. Whatever. So I'm like, I know him and I know that he's lying, but it is what it is. So at that time, I had ended up calling Bob, like putting him up on game. Like, hey, like, you know, I just heard that your baby mama talking to my baby daddy. Like, because at this point, I'm feeling like, hold on, now you only trying to, I feel like Bob was only trying to talk to me to get back at his baby mama. I don't know. I didn't know what he knew or whatever. But like, he told me he really didn't know. Like, that was new news to him. So I still end up talking to him. And I'm trying to hurry up and make this before I go to work. But so maybe some time go on, you know, like they still every other weekend, like they still doing stuff with the kids. I never had done anything. Like, I hadn't seen Bob's son and Bob hadn't seen my son. So one weekend I was like with Bob and he was like texting Sarah and trying to get Sarah's son, like him and Sarah, like their kid. And for some reason, like, she wasn't responding, or she was like, no, I don't really remember, but I know like she wasn't letting him get him. So maybe like a couple minutes after that, my son ended up calling me. I'm like, hey, like, what y'all doing? He's like, mommy, we going to SeaWorld with Sarah and Sarah's son and daddy. And I was like, oh, okay, like, y'all have fun. And I end up telling Bob, I'm like, the reason why you can't get your child is because they're going to SeaWorld. And I don't care if it was like messy or not, or if she didn't want him to know. I told him, like, I'm dealing with him, and I told him. I didn't have a problem with my son being with her. I didn't care. But I don't know if Bob had a problem with his son being around my baby daddy. I don't know. I guess Bob ended up saying something to Sarah. So Sarah ended up texting me like a long paragraph, and she sent a screenshot of her and Bob like text thread. But I never responded to her because she wanted an argument, and I wasn't about to argue with her because the situation was already weird. So come back for part 3 because I gotta go. Part 3 of how my baby daddy family feel like that I had something to do with my baby daddy being shot. So after that incident with Sarah texting me again, I never said nothing to her. I just let it be. People would come and tell me like little shit she said or like little shit she posted, but I never let it get to me because I'm not about to argue with her. Like, the situation already weird as it is. So time go on. It's getting time for me to like move from the place that I was at, and I end up moving to a new place. And the place where I moved to, it was like it's a 3-bedroom, so it was enough room for Bob and Sarah's son to have his own room at my new place. And mind you, like, I ended up like, you know, being around him, and Bob ended up being around my son, so we already passed that point. So maybe like one day her son came over, and I end up making some food, and I guess the food that I made, Bob was already telling me he wasn't sure if his son was gonna eat it, but I was like, you know, let's see, like, you never know what a kid like until they try it. So we ended up having him try it, and he didn't like it, but he wasn't really like forced to eat it. I was like, just try it. I'm like, if you take another bite, like, you'll get ice cream. So he ended up eating it. And I guess like the next day when he went home, Sarah ended up questioning him, and I guess she got mad because I made him eat the food. She like, oh, like, I made her eat food, basically saying like she don't want him around me and stuff like that. But I'm like, girl, like, you tripping. This is what I'm saying to Bob. I'm like, she tripping. Like, I would be appreciative if anybody, you know, even took initiative to feed my child, or even to try to give him something, you know, make him try different things. But of course, everybody don't look at things like that. So again, time go on. I don't think nothing really happened. Again, like, it's little shit that's not really major, that little shit like text messaging, saying little slick ass shit, but I'm not letting none of that bother me. And again, everything is cool with my baby daddy. Like, he's still getting his son. Like, he being consistent with getting him. Oh, I forgot to mention, after that happened, the food thing, I guess she was like venting to my baby daddy about it. Like, she was mad, like, felt like I was mistreating her child. So he ended up calling me, basically was saying like what she said, and he was like, I'm basically telling her like, you not that type of person, like, you wouldn't do nothing like that to like put her child, you know, in harm's way. And again, like, the situation is so weird, and I'm just like, you know, I'm agreeing with him. I'm like, okay, like, you know, I don't really care how she feel, but I hear what you're saying. And I think either in that same conversation, or maybe like a few days after, I don't really remember it. I know that me and my baby daddy ended up having a conversation, and he felt like Bob didn't like him. I guess like Sarah must have showed my baby daddy text messages of like Bob saying things about my baby daddy or something like that, and he felt like he didn't like him. And I'm like telling him like, you know, he don't got no problem with you as far as I know. Like, when I have had a conversation with him, he has no problem with you at all. So now at this point, like, my baby daddy know that Bob don't have no problem with him. This just based off me telling him, you know, like, I think maybe they even like encounter each other, but nothing like ever happened, and things was going good. Like, things was good. So it was no beef, like, it was nothing really going on. You know, they was still doing their little thing, and we still doing our thing. And at this point, I moved into my place. Like, I'm getting adjusted to the new place. So I was at a good space, and especially like the relationship with me and my son dad, we was at a really good place. Well, I guess so. I thought we was at a good space. Other people thought other shit, but I'm gonna get to that point. Part of how my baby daddy family accused me of having something to do with my baby daddy being shot, and this is gonna be the last video. It's been months of people making up stories, saying a whole bunch of shit, dragging my name, and something that really had nothing to do with me. And I never really spoke on it. I just been letting people say whatever, think whatever. But I felt like it was time for me to finally speak. And now that I'm really able to speak on it. So now we in May of 2024. And my baby daddy ended up calling me, letting me know that he was going to be out of town. And that he was going to be dropping our son off with his family. And I was like, no, it's okay, because I know like how my son be when he go with people. I just know how he is. I was like, my mama gonna watch him. I was like, and if you end up not doing anything, you can go pick him up. And he was like, okay. So maybe like the day before Mother's Day, maybe like that Friday, I ended up having a conversation with him again. And he like, you sure? Like, you sure your mom gonna watch him? Because I know it's Mother's Day. I'm like, no, she don't got nothing planned. It's okay. He talked to his son for a little bit, and that was like the last conversation. Mind you, there's no beef on my end, no beef on my baby daddy end. I know Bob ain't have no beef. Only person that could have had beef was Sarah, which I don't know, because I don't talk to her. I don't have no mutual friends with her. None of that. So I don't know. I don't know. So Mother's Day came, and me and Bob already had plans. We had did a day cruise or whatever from out of Miami to Bahamas. We went on the day cruise. We was having fun. We was there for a little minute, and I hadn't spoken to my baby daddy since that Friday. Now we're on Sunday, Mother's Day. I haven't talked to him. So I'm in the water. My phone was unattended. It was at the cabana. So once we got back to the cabana and checked the phone, Bob had a lot of missed calls on his phone. I had like one or two, but it was really nothing major. He ended up calling the person back that called him, and they basically ended up telling him like, oh, that my baby daddy was shot. So I'm like, what? There's no way. Like, what? Like, I was so confused. So I had ended up calling his brother, because I know they always be together. So I called the brother, and either he forwarded me the voicemail or something. And right after, he ended up texting. He texted me and was like, oh, bitch, I'm gonna KILU in that nigga. So I'm like, what is going on? Keep in mind, I don't really have no problem with his family. Like, I don't ever really see them. If I see them, it's like based on me meeting them for my son. That's it. So when he texted me that, I was a little confused. I didn't know what was really going on at the moment. Okay, now I'm back home. Same day I'm back home. At this point, a lot of people calling my phone, people posting on Facebook. The story's already going. So now I end up finding out the reason why his brother texted me that is because Bob's homeboy is the one that my baby daddy. Mind you, I don't really have no conversation with his homeboys. Like, I don't have no conversation with his homeboys. Like, those aren't my friends. I don't know what occurred that day, because I wasn't there. I was in a whole different country. I don't know nothing that happened, and I know that at the end of the day, I didn't have nothing to do with anything. So like, my mom was really trying to reach out, because I was at a point like where I wanted to know what was going on. I felt like I should have been involved, considering the fact that my son's dad and I had been together prior for like 7 years. So it's like, I should have known something, and they was keeping me out of the loop. And then they got mad as fuck when they found out that my son didn't know anything, because why do y'all think I'm gonna sit up here and tell a 6-year-old anything when y'all not telling me shit? I don't know nothing that's going on. I don't know what hospital he at, the condition that he in. So why the fuck do y'all feel like I should tell my son anything? So time going, it's like my son, he end up asking, and I end up telling him what happened. I didn't tell him like the whole everything that happened. I basically like made up a story that is kid friendly, that a kid should know what happened. So then he started asking like, oh, can like he go see his family? And I'm like, yeah, like you can go see them, because I don't have no hatred in my heart toward nobody, and at the end of the day it's still his family. So I still let him go. And before he even went, it was agreed that they wouldn't be taking him to the hospital to see my baby daddy, because they didn't want him to see him in a position that he was in. But what motherfuckers do, they still went behind my back and took my child without me knowing. So my son called me on the phone, like crying, like, you know, he was very emotional. And again, he's 6, he don't know how to express his emotions. So I end up getting him back that same day, well, later that night, and like he crying, like he couldn't go to sleep. Fast forward, we ended up getting over that, but like he's, to this day, like he still have his, you know, days, but I was still letting him go with his people regardless of what they did, just because I'm not no nasty ass bitch. Bro, one day my son came back home and he ended up telling me like, oh, like his auntie was talking so much shit about me to my, at this time, not my son 7, to my 7-year-old son, talking shit about me to my son. And honestly, all of this could have been avoided from day one if they would have talked to me. If they would have talked to me like grown-ass adults that they are, then we would have never been to this point. It would have never been here if they would have talked to me from day one. Even when I tried to sit up and like have a conversation with the daddy about how I felt. But honestly, if they would have talked to me and listened to what I had to say and listened to the truth, then things would have turned out totally different. But at this point, like in May, like I was going through a lot, because they sitting up here accusing me of this, like then I can't really deal with the emotions that I'm feeling from like what's going on with my baby daddy for the sake of my child, you know. Like at the end of the day, I'm not with him, but I still wouldn't want to see nothing happen to my son's father. Like he played a huge role into my son's life, and still to this day, like it be little shit that side be saying because they feel some type of way that I'm still talking to Bob. And it's like, why should I change me talking to Bob when he has nothing to do with the situation? Yes, his homeboy did do it, but that don't have nothing to do with me or him. We weren't there that day. He didn't call him and tell him to do that. So it's just been so much. But I'm thankful that I'm finally at a place to where I can like speak on it, because at one point I couldn't. And still to this day, like me and my son, we pray for his dad and just pray that things change and turn around. But with people being the way that they are, like obvious things aren't going to change. People still worried about the wrong shit. Like you would think this will open up their eyes and be like, okay, like maybe God is doing this for a reason. But still, people is still on the same shit. That's why I say, if people were adults and acted like adults and thought like adults, then again, we wouldn't be to where we at. But that's the story time. I didn't have nothing to do with nothing, and only God can judge me.
I mean, like they say, it's 3 sides to every story. Is the both parties that were there, or the parties that were there, and the Lord above. But one thing that kind of grabbed my attention is her saying that her child's father called her to confirm whether she was talking to this guy or not. Like the baby mother already knew that her baby daddy and his baby mama was together. Like that's what caught my attention first. But nevertheless, what would make that family and the baby daddy think that it was his own baby mama when she would have more to lose in this situation than the girlfriend with the baby by his baby mama? You know, it's all over the place. Because first of all, it was weird and crazy that they both was dating the other person's ex-partner. That was crazy. But if she said that her child's father and her haven't been together in a while, how would she know what to tell her dude to go and tell his homeboys? Because it's supposed to have been the homeboy, the friend that did it, right? So how would she know what to tell this guy to go tell his friends to do, or even if that guy helped do it. Like, how would his baby mama know if they haven't even been together? The obvious thing would be the girl that he's dating now, that's dating that guy. And not only that, every single thing that her child's father said, she was telling him. She was telling them. I believe both women was doing that. I believe both women was calling their own baby daddies and telling them stuff that the other dude was saying. Like, she was telling her dude what her baby daddy was saying, and then the other girl was going back showing and telling him what her baby daddy's saying. Like, both females did play a messy role in this. Like, whatever your baby daddy said about him, he didn't need to know. And whatever he said about your baby daddy, like, girl, he didn't know. He didn't need to know. Like, why just be telling them stuff? Like, that in itself just was too much, too extra. And I already knew right there it was going to be a whole bunch of drama. As soon as you said that you went and told this guy what your baby daddy said, I was like, oh Lord, this is gonna cause even more chaos. But that baby mama, your guy, baby mama, she definitely didn't like you. And because I feel like she didn't like you, she was in on it. I don't mean to harm. Like, I don't know you, like, you know, but I feel like that the girlfriend that was spending time with her baby daddy, I feel like she the one who went and told her child's father. Because at the end of the day, think about it. Who in this situation have more to lose? Who? Exactly. The girlfriend of this woman's baby daddy. She didn't have nothing to lose. She the only one that didn't have nothing to lose. Why would she set up her son's daddy to be robbed by her man and his friends when she the one that would have something to lose? Number one, it's taken from her son because it's taken from his daddy. Number two, if something happens to his daddy, he will no longer have a daddy, but this nigga can go back and be a father to his child by that woman that her baby daddy with. So why would she want to set her own child father up to have something to lose? If she did that, and any mother that sets her own kid's father up is a bad fucking mama. Like, she have no fucking intentions of making her child happy or being a good mother to her child if she's willing to set her child's father up, possibly to no longer be on this earth or be hurt and down bad where he can't provide for his child. Somebody will be a horrible person. And, you know, like, I don't know her, but based on this story that she's telling, I don't feel like she's a horrible mother. I don't feel like she'll be willing to take her son's father off this earth so he'll have one less parent. I just don't feel like it. But you never know a person, because motherfuckers have done that shit, which is fucking crazy to me. Like, crazy. You literally would take a piece of your child all because of a nigga that probably don't give two fucks about your kid. But at the end of the day, I just feel like personally, the only person that had nothing to lose in this situation was that other girl, was her boyfriend's baby mama that was dating her baby daddy. And to tell your son that, oh, that's my cousin, is weird. You might as well, when he saw all of that extra stuff, to be honest with him right then and there, because we got people in this world that will literally think it's okay to mess with their cousins. So why would you even tell your son that? Like, that was crazy. But that's my opinion. Y'all, do y'all think that the baby mama that had a lot to lose by her son possibly could lose his dad, set the baby daddy up? Or do you think that the person that really didn't have nothing to lose did it, which is the other girlfriend? Or do you just think that the other girlfriend baby daddy just wanted to rob him anyway because he didn't like him from the jump? Like, who do y'all feel like set him up? Drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, join the family by subscribing. Yup, hit that subscribe button. And if you are returning, y'all, I hope y'all have a happy new year. I hope your 2026 be blessed, grateful, and everything your heart can desire, you get it. Even new people, even the ones that haven't subscribed, I hope that for you guys too. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.